Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. It's Dork Duck Daily, the daily news show with all the news you nerd and cats and what you put. I went to take that off. You put the bag you sewed on there, which is very cute, and then you filled it with things, which means there's extra weight on the microphone that's already struggling. I need to get a new set of like $20 mic stands.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Hi. This is the special early Wednesday edition that starts super early because we have to open a comic book store at 10, which is Selena's favorite show of the week.
I mean, it's less taxing when I feel fine. When I don't feel good, though.
Yeah, she's not feeling good. But we found caffeinated slushies this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like she's getting some vitamin C in slushy form, and it has 80 milligrams of caffeine in it. That's everything a good American body needs, right?
Yeah.
Just some vroom vroom juice and
Truly.
some supposedly like good vitamins.
Oh, look how nice our bed looks. I actually put a blanket thingy down on our bed, and I mean, granted, the blankets over there all piled up, but they
I did that so that it was nice in the shot, and then you called it out. You're like,
oh,
like it doesn't look nice if you could see it in real life. And I was like, yeah, I did that.
I thought I did that.
No,
and when I woke up, I just piled them all.
No, they were all strewn about, and I was like, oh, that actually looks really nice with how Selena set the bed up. So I just like pulled them back so you could just see that. Because I realized yesterday the bonus of being able to see pieces of the bed is that the cats lay there a lot, and so that's probably nice and fun for people.
Yeah.
It's just not the best when our bed is trashed. So, or when I'm doing a show and you're like trying desperately to just maintain sleep over there.
Yeah.
It's probably not the best.
Who is that? Is that Pancake? Is that Pancake?
Yes, she is right underneath you.
What's she doing?
Playing with your headphone cord.
Okay, hi. Hi, beautiful.
And like clutching the leg of your chair as if it's something comfortable to hold on to.
Cats are weird. Like, Bug was just like laying in that cube, and like it's like a hard wooden surface, but he just acted like it was the most comfortable thing in the world. But then I put a blanket down in the cube, and he was just like, oh my god, like he was instantly just like biscuits and just like, holy shit, this is amazing. But right now he's currently laying on the table.
Yeah, in the window. Good morning, Sam. It's so far before 9. Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's this or no show on Wednesdays, unfortunately.
Honestly, not that I don't want to do the show. I do want to do the show. Don't take this as me not wanting to do the show. But like, that might be worth looking into.
Yeah.
Or opening the store later.
That is probably what I am going to move towards. I just need to get the new distribution stuff has to happen, and I have to get a feeling for what that's going to look like before I like change the hours of the store, because I don't want to like change them and then be like, oh well guys, I got to change them again. So that's because the other thing is if we can reliably get our comic books earlier, like eliminating not that, you know, we're doing it by choice. It's kind of happening. Eliminating Diamond as a distributor. They've kind of eliminated themselves in a lot of ways, but like eliminating them as a distributor, they were like the only reason we were really open on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Because for years, Tuesdays was when we got our comics to process them, to put them out on sale on Wednesdays. Which was never felt great or practical. It was always like a huge stressful rush. Now that everything is moving off of Diamond, it's quite possible that we'll be in a world where we can reliably get things like pretty far in advance, which might mean we're closed on Tuesdays. Because business-wise, Tuesdays never really was like the
He's trying to steal my glasses frames that are broken. Look at him. He's like, those are mine now, Mom.
He's going for him.
He does he has grabbed at my glasses before, like a baby, like the way that they're just like, oh, cool thing on your face. He does that occasionally. It's really cute. It's less cute when they're attached to my face. Pancake, what are you about to do to him? She looked like she was about to jump up there.
She has been
a bully?
A little feisty.
To my baby Bug.
Yeah.
And he's just this big, gentle angel giant that just like doesn't understand why everyone's being so mean to him.
Yeah, he's big head empty, beautiful. Dude.
Yes, he slept in our bed all of last night, and it was so funny because I would wake up and he'd be in like different positions, but he'd still be like belly out, like toes stretched all the way out. I woke up though and his feet were in my face, and I was just like, this is not ideal.
I spent the whole night being slammed into the desk because like he took up half the bed.
He was laying horizontally. Is it horizontally?
Yes, it is horizontally. Good job.
Thank you. He was laying horizontally, like next to me. So his feet were facing my face as I was laying on the pillow. And I probably just like, consciously in my sleep was like, I don't want cat feet in my face. So I like scooted closer to the...
No, I was like, I had a phone call last night. And so, like, we stopped watching Twin Peaks earlier than planned. And then I went, and you, like, had come into the bed and, like, kind of fallen asleep. And so I went to come into bed with you. And it was you were in bed with Bug. And I climbed in the bed. And he looked at me just like, I don't know what you think you're doing. But this is not your bed,
like,
dude.
Who are you? He did. He gave you this look like, what are you doing? Mom and me were snuggling. And you came in and interrupted.
Like, sorry, man. I do need to sleep.
Yes.
We don't just talk about cats on this show, though. We could. We could be a whole show full of nothing but cats.
No, we really could.
We also, though, cover all the newsy nerd in a whole segment we like to call the Daily Quack.
He's like a guard cat. There's someone walking, like just walking, not even like towards our house. They're just walking, and look at him. He's like,
oh yeah, he's always very alert.
It's okay, man.
The biggest news story today, of which we don't have much on. I'm sure it's going to lead to like 6 or 7 different news stories throughout the week, as it affects. Oh, thank you for the resubscribe, Ella.
Thanks.
And playing Selena's favorite song. She loves this song.
I do.
Yeah, thank you so much for the resubscribe. Good morning. Biggest news story probably, and in 8 months. Thank you so much for that. That's insane. Like I said, it'll probably, as it affects our world, lead to a whole bunch of others. Postal Service suspends incoming parcels from China and Hong Kong. It's from Jordan Gartner at 13 Action News, who says officials with USPS did not provide a reason for the suspension when making the announcement late Tuesday night. However, officials also noted that the flow of letters and flats from China and Hong Kong would not be impacted. So all packages from China have been officially halted by the United States Postal Service. The early things I'm seeing and how it affects our world is especially the retro video game market. There's a lot of pieces that go into the things we utilize that we don't understand that are coming in traditionally from these places, and then how it affects things like Temu and stuff will all be sorted out throughout the week. So I mean, this article is literally 3 sentences because I think everyone's just in this holy shit, we don't know what this means mode with it right now.
Does that mean if you order something from like the Shein website,
Correct.
Temu or whatever.
Correct.
Oh,
It's all just shut down now.
well, wild.
Yeah.
I know some people who resold from Shein who
Correct.
aren't going to be very pleased
Correct.
with this information.
It's a pretty wild big now. That's just the postal service, so it's like there's other service things, and it's like this could be a nothing burger of a story if like UPS or something steps in and it's the prices are about the same or whatever. But as of right now, it is like kind of like a holy shit, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Looking this morning, the retro video game market is kind of starting to reel because like the people that design a lot of the like, hey, here's new controllers, here's like new systems that can play old cartridges and stuff. They're like, you guys don't understand the amount of parts we need to order
Yeah.
through this process that we might not have access to now.
So, sidebar slightly.
Yeah.
I wish they had an ice cream machine at that gas station because
Yeah.
sometimes they have ice cream. Sometimes at the gas station. Wait, maybe I'm thinking of like shakes. They have those shake machines.
They have like shake machines. Usually you don't get
Oh.
soft serve at a gas station. You get like slushy machines.
What I wish
yeah.
existed is that, and then a soft serve machine, so I could just
Yeah.
put a big old vanilla ice cream on top. That is so good. It's like an orange creamsicle. It just needs a little more like vanilla.
A little more vanilla, a little more
Yeah.
pizzazz.
Yeah, a little more.
You could just put a scoop of ice cream in that thing.
I could, but the only vanilla we have now is that nasty home style vanilla, and there's something that tastes weird about that. I don't like it. I ran out of the vanilla bean ice cream that we had.
Sam says we get a whole lot of pieces from China from just about everything we make. Yeah. Mel says pretty sure Temu does have a warehouse in the U.S., but wow, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Sam says, "Oh my God, Lena, Shiki has that same dino."
What?
I think this guy.
Yeah, Jeffrey got him for me. They're beautiful. I
See-
think there's other ones too, but that one was the one that I was like, oh my God.
The one of the camera just made. Yeah. And Shiki says, "Oh, Dino Twins." Yeah.
Yay.
For a long time, this dino had a goth collar on
He
her.
did. I just had to take, like, one of the kids got something on it, and like, so I had to wash him, and I had to take the
Gothy spiky collar
spiky
off.
collar off of him. Yeah, I do have it. You continue your story. I can go grab
Put the
it.
collar back on.
Yeah,
Okay.
he feels like not accessorized, and that's upsetting to him.
Yeah, he needs to go like he's going to the club. Bruce Campbell TV series canceled despite 91% Rotten Tomatoes score. This is from Marco Vito Otto from comicbook.com. I think it's also possible it got canceled because I've never heard of it till this article. Here we go. Peacock has pulled the plug on Hysteria! Exclamation point. The title has an exclamation point in it. The supernatural thriller series starring Bruce Campbell, as reported by Variety. The streaming service's decision comes roughly 3.5 months after the show premiered its first and now only season on October 18th, 2024. Despite earning an impressive 91% critics' approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, the series reportedly failed to generate the same buzz as other recent Peacock offerings like The Day of the Jackal and Apples Never Fall. I've never heard of any of these shows. The cancellation is particularly disappointing for horror fans as the show offered a unique perspective on one of America's most fascinating moral panics through the lens of small-town paranoia and heavy metal culture. Hysteria was set against the backdrop of satanic panic, a period of mass hysteria that gripped the United States throughout the 80s. This sounds like a show I would have loved.
I didn't even know it was happening.
I didn't even know it was happening. Yeah, it didn't cross my radar until it was being canceled.
Look.
Now he's got a collar.
Yes, and this is Gordon. I just found him in the basket on the couch, and I was like, oh my God, I did post about him, but here.
Oh, yeah,
Gordon.
And did you post in the Discord or just on Facebook?
A bunch of different places.
Oh, and the blue skis.
The blue skis. There you go. Wow, it looks like he's like,
Ascended angel.
yeah.
Gordon. Um.
But his name's Gordon. Jeff and I were at like a bowling thing, and there's this giant cow there, like this giant cow plushie, and you could like enter a raffle for it.
It was a fundraiser for our kids' bowling team. So it
Yeah.
was one of those things of like, if we don't win it, whatever, it's money going to our kids' bowling team. But
we
then
didn't win it.
increasingly, as we kept drinking and then giving more money to the cow, then it became,
We gave more money to the
it
cow.
became Selena's cow. And then she was very emotionally invested. And then when she didn't win the cow, I ordered her one because I'm good with money.
To be fair, the one you were gonna order me was more expensive than this one, and then I was like, "Ooh, this one's like the same as my." I have another cow that's a Palm Pal, and so I was like, "Oh, I could get the blue one because I already have the black and white one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think I just need to get the pink one, and then, or maybe there's other colors. I think there's a brown one too.
Yeah.
But that will complete my little Palm Pal set, but. Aw, he can go in there. Little guy.
Little guy. Just
But
hanging
yeah,
out.
I named him Gordon after Gordon Cole from
Twin
Twin
Peaks.
Peaks.
We're almost out of Twin Peaks episodes. We're on the last 3.
I was gonna name him David Lynch, but I was like, he looks more like a Gordon.
Shiki says, yeah, he's the only reason I knew the show existed. Yeah, that's crazy because that show's so up my alley and I had no idea. And you can't say that I don't like pay attention to things because I spend every day scouring for things to talk about on this show.
Maybe it just wasn't properly marketed, you think?
Yeah, I 100% would have talked about like, oh my gosh, new Bruce Campbell show.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. The government had been planning it for 7 years. Beavers built the dam in 2 days and saved them $1 million.
What?
This
The
is
government was planning to build a dam and beavers built it instead?
yes. This is from Shakira Radowska at Fox.
Shakira? Did you say Shakira?
I did my best and butchered a name, and I was hoping to move very quickly past it, and then you were like, "Let me highlight what you said." SHKRUAR Shakrar. I don't know. I'm so sorry to the person who wrote this article. I am an ignorant American, and I'm bad with reading foreign names.
With pronouncing names. It's okay, me too.
Sam says beavers are better than yes.
Yes.
100%. I love this story so much. In the Czech Republic, beavers built a dam in 2 days, which local authorities had planned for 7 years. The rodents have saved the administration $1.2 million. A project to restore water areas in the Verde Nature Park had been under development since 2018. Over the years, the administration collected all the necessary permits and was ready to begin construction. But it turned out to be unnecessary, as the native beavers, who had lived in the park since 2020, took matters into their own hands, building dams in the same locations planned by the government. There's a picture of the dam.
They did a great job.
They did. Look at it.
Yeah. Looks great.
It's solid.
Looks structurally sound.
It does. The beavers saved us 30 million Czech crowns. They built the dams without any project documentation and for free, said the head of the Nature Reserve Administration. Beavers are known for their ability to build giant dams and streams, which function much like a modern dam. The reason they build dams is to create water that gives them protection from predators.
When I was a kid, I used to think that I could build a dam. Beavers are much more efficient in building dams. I tried many a time, and it did not work.
Yeah, you weren't able to. That's the thing the kids are doing, and it is They're like down in their like little area, like building a dam. And then my kids did it over there back when there was actually water over there. Maybe they did it successfully. That's why there's no water.
Oh my god,
over
they
there.
like disrupted the entire ecosystem.
No, it's just a dry riverbed now. It's crazy because it was like when
Yeah,
we
and at one point fish lived there.
yeah.
But then your kids came along.
No, because it's like all of their dams broke. I don't. Something happened further up the way, probably with the people that own the land up there. I'm sure someone shut it down because they're just like running water. We can't let humans in environments have that.
Oh, Bug. Look at his little angel baby face.
Yeah, he's passed out over there. Discord message. I will look at the. I will watch that later. That looks great. All right.
My sweet boy.
Here's a pretty great story. Proud Boys lose their trademark ownership to a black church they vandalized. Court rules. This is from Anne Marie Lee over at CBS News. It says the ownership of the Proud Boys trademark is now in the hands of a black church that the group vandalized in 2020. The Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church in Washington, D.C. was granted ownership of the group's trademark in a February 3rd ruling from Judge Tanya M. Jones-Bossier of the Superior Court of the District of Columbia. The decision also gives the Metropolitan AIM Church a lien on the trademark and the power to block the Proud Boys from using the trademark or selling licensed goods like T-shirts or hats without the church's approval. Reach for comment, the former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio pointed to a statement he posted on X. In it, he said the judge should be impeached and the church's nonprofit status revoked. The court's decision has been reported earlier by the New York Times. Tarrio, who had been serving 22-year sentence for seditious conspiracy, tied to his role in the January 6th stuff, was pardoned by President Trump after his inauguration. The ruling on the Proud Boys copyright stems from an incident on December 12, 2020, when members of the all-male right-wing group attended a Stop the Steal event in Washington, D.C., and attacked the Metropolitan AIM Church by climbing over a fence to get on the church property, where they destroyed a Black Lives Matter sign, according to court documents. The court ordered the Proud Boys to pay the church $2.8 million, money that the group has failed to pay, the documents note. As a result, the court gave the Metropolitan AIM Church the ownership of the trademark, providing them with the right to deny use of the group's name and yellow and black laurel wreath symbol. Shiki laughed. Sam said, "Good. Sometimes I think there could be a God." Yeah, it's the idea of this church owning the rights means that, like, I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but they could start a line of like gay bars called the Proud Boys.
That would be solid.
That's my petition and what I would like to see them do. I want to see like a whole bunch of like
Yeah.
like Proud Boys gay bars. But I don't know what this church, just their ability to block any kind of like
Well, because that also means it'll be harder for the merch to go out.
well, unofficial or official.
Yeah,
so
either
like
or.
you can't, if you're seen making any Proud Boys stuff, now the
Yeah.
church can shut it down
Yep.
legally.
Yep.
It's pretty great.
That is pretty great.
As a result, the court gave the Metropolitan AIM Church ownership of the trademark, providing this is our time to stand up, to be very clear to the Proud Boys and their ilk that we came here fighting, that we have never capitulated to the violent whims of white supremacist groups. Reverend William Lamar IV, pastor of Metropolitan AIM Church, told CBS Money Watch, "If they thought we would be afraid, they were wrong. There are many people with us and who stand with us." The Metropolitan AIM Church, which was founded in 1838, has hosted speakers including Frederick Douglass and Eleanor Roosevelt, can now collect funds from sales of Proud Boys merchandise, as well as its membership dues. Oh my gosh, all their membership dues.
So they get all that money?
Yeah.
Huh.
But they can effectively just shut it down. But anytime they try to collect membership dues, they get to go sue in court and be like, actually, those are ours.
Ah. That's amazing.
It's so good. The notoriety of the Proud Boys name likely helped the group in recruitment, which means blocking the use of its trademark could both hurt the group's ability to sell merchandise and recruit new members, they added. From our point of view, it's fitting that the money the Proud Boys raised in sales and dues will go to fund the work of the Metropolitan AIM. Caitlin Banner, who represented the church in the case and serves as deputy legal director at the Washington Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights and Urban Affairs, told CBS. In his statement posted on X, Torrio indicated he didn't intend to honor the court's ruling. I hold in contempt any motions, judgments, or orders issued against me.
Okay, buddy.
So does anyone. Like, what is that?
Well, yeah, okay.
What
my
does
God.
that mean? I don't abide by this. Like, yeah, no, it was ruled against you, buddy. Goodness. Hey, Nintendo's suing people.
Wow, what a surprise.
What a unique story and not a daily thing. Oh, thanks for the giant hot dog, Jeff. He's so majestic, that giant hot dog, Jeff.
He very much is.
Thanks for the bits. All right. Live action Legend of Zelda fan film gets shut down by Nintendo. This is from Blair Marnell over at GameSpot. Says last month, director and actor Chris Carpenter launched a Kickstarter campaign to bring his vision for a Legend of Zelda fan film to life. Shiki says, then why not just make it themselves? I think I would be surprised if at this point, with this success of the Mario movie, that there is not a Legend of Zelda thing coming down the pike. I just it seems inevitable. That said, they kind of missed the window. It's interesting watching in Twin Peaks: The Return and listening to podcasts about it, because like, as people talk about it, they talk a lot about like, and this is at like the very end of like the golden age of TV, and then I was like, that's weird, and my brain kind of like still put us within the golden age of TV, but then when you really think about it, it really was like that 2010s era with like Mad Men, Breaking Bad, and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and it really hasn't quite been the same since then. That's when we were first starting to hear the inklings of like, no, there's going to be a Legend of Zelda Netflix show or something. It's like at this point, everything's so crowded, and they're, as we already reported, there are shows that have come and gone without like us even realizing it. I don't think I ever watched that Resident Evil show, and I think I found out about it after it was canceled. It's just, there's too much. It's too much noise. The quality control is like not in a good place with a lot of the stuff too. Mel said already have 2 sequels planned for the Mario movie. Yeah, I'm sure. But like, that Mario movie is fine. Like, it's not bad. But that's all it is it's a movie that's not bad. It's not a movie that it's like I have had access to rewatch it since it's been out. I have not done that. I probably would have bought the Steelbook had it not been really ugly. It was just like a black Steelbook with like a big mushroom on it.
You're so judgy.
It's not good.
The design I did not like. I will agree with you on that, but like, just your description of it. It was just a big Steelbook with a big mushroom on it.
It was a big Steelbook with it was just all black, and then it had a 1-up mushroom on it.
Some people like simple designs.
But you've seen like steel some of the most beautiful art I've seen is like on some of our steel books.
Yeah.
That is like the most lazy, like I don't know, it's level up mushroom, $50 collector's edition steelbook, and I was just like, no, that I only sort of liked that movie. I didn't. It wasn't bad. It was just fine. Like it was like that company, Illumination. Um, according to Selena, they make terrible movies. She doesn't like the Minions,
I
um,
don't like the Minions, and I never will.
but they make movies that are like, or their like main quality is that they're harmless. They're like, hey, your parents won't get mad watching this, and like they don't really seem to have like any kind of other qualities, in my opinion, going for them. Like I thought that Grinch remake was pretty lame, personally. Like it's fine, it's fine. It is just like they they get the celebrities in there, they make the couple jokes for the parents, and it's nothing. Um, Other Sam says you didn't miss much with that Resident Evil show. Best thing was Lance Reddick. I do love Lance Reddick, and I'm so sad he's not with us anymore. Other Sam said, "Say it with me, Lena. Banana."
No. I I don't understand the love for Minions, and it gets less with age, my hate of Minions.
Yeah,
I'm more indifferent to them. And they're not like everywhere like they used to be. They used to be fucking everywhere, and like I couldn't like turn on a TV without the Minions being in a commercial, or like someone sharing a Minions post on Facebook. But I don't use Facebook a lot anymore, so maybe there's still boomers sharing Minion memes.
baby.
I don't see them very often though. You're friends with older people. Do they still do that?
I think they moved on to Baby Yoda when Baby Yoda was a thing. They kind of pivoted from minion memes to baby. There's like a lot of
My
like
grandma shared those in her brief Facebook stint. She used
the
Facebook.
Baby Yoda memes.
Yeah, she kept sharing Baby Yoda memes, and I was
Yeah.
just like, did you even watch The Mandalorian?"
No,
Like,
and it's like always like Grogu in the weirdest context, which like makes no sense whatsoever. Like, what are you? What does this have to do with? And it's like, haha, you know how when I shop at Target, I need my snackies, and it's just like, what does Grogu have to do with that?
Baby Yoda does not shop at Target, nor does he drink coffee.
Shiki says I also hate the Minions.
I do think that's taking the Grogu a little too literally, though, because like there is some whimsy of him being like snackies, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, like I think it's kind of cute, but like when it's like a 50-year-old woman sharing it about her like alcohol dependency, I'm just like, but he's Baby Yoda, he doesn't drink.
And then Stitch is making a huge resurgence too in the boomer memedom. There's a lot of Stitch.
Really?
Yeah. So I think this is what my theory is. And like you can make notes, you can everything. My sample size is just my experiential life, which is like a pretty small sample size. So like this could be wildly off. I think that the explanation for the Minion memes and the Grogu memes and the Stitch memes that boomers inexplicably like post and post and post and post and post is that they're actual subliminal marketing to sell merch at like Walmart.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because like some like lady in her like late 40s is gonna be like, oh, I seen this meme. Like I'm sure this is no judgment to my grandma, but my grandma will go to Walmart and be like, oh, look at that baby Grogu shirt. Like that's so cute. I want that. And I'm like, you don't even know who
and they
that
can't
is.
they can't get a 50-year-old woman to watch Star Wars.
No, and it's like I don't care if you buy something even if you don't know what the character is, but like it's easier for these women to like be like, "Oh, I saw that meme." Like
Right.
yeah.
So that's my theory.
Wow, that's nefarious, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense.
Um,
I just like Baby Yoda because he's small and the guy
Other
care
Sam says Grogu loves his snacks too.
the
Yes.
guy carries him around.
Shiki
The
says no, but
man,
he needs his snackies.
the Mandalorian
Another Sam
carries
says,
him.
"Where's the Grogu slash Stitch getting high on fentanyl memes?"
My God,
And just wait till Grandma gets hooked on Skibbity Toilet. Yeah,
no.
that won't happen because they take whatever. It's kind of brilliant, honestly, if you think about it, because it's like Grandma's never just so like Grandma's never going to sit down and watch episodes of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. But if you get Grandma to attach to the brand through her silly memes she spares on Facebook, then she's attached to the brand, will buy the things for herself and then all the kids. And then when the kids want to turn on Disney Plus, they're like, "Oh, that's the Grogu place." Okay. It's like this pretty brilliant fucked up like indoctrination that is like happening.
Huh.
Um
So is the Mandalorian the name of the guy who carries him around, or what? What is
yes.
his name?
At some point we need to do like a
Jeff.
podcast watch through of Star Wars stuff because your knowledge of Star Wars is about at the level of your knowledge of football. And I think it would be very interesting to like get your perspective on
Star Wars?
Star Wars because it's been around you your entire life, but you treat it like you do football, which is just like that's not for me.
It should be okay that it's not for me.
I'm not saying that it's I'm not
I feel
weighing
like
in.
you are.
No,
I feel
I'm
like
I'm
you
saying
like Star Wars, and you think I should also like Star Wars. And let me tell you, I've watched a Star Wars movie. I don't know
I'm
which one. I don't, but I did not. I just didn't.
I,
It didn't get me. It
yeah,
didn't
for sure.
hook me.
Well, I for the record, I love the like original trilogy, like what is now 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
Like I love that. Um, and then I have like a more tacit relationship with everything that's come since. But I just think you would have like an interesting perspective on all things Star Wars because it's like you just have had this relationship with it, which is just that it's unique. I don't think a lot of people could watch Star Wars having like had this like a arm's length distance from it their entire lives.
I think it has something to do with my demand avoidance. Because it's one of those shows that everybody is like, it's so great. You would like this. And I'm like, I don't.
Sorry, we've been. I need to pause for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Because other Sam said, "Just wait till Grandma gets hooked on Skibbity Toilet." To which then his response was, "Makes me glad my grandma hated me and now is dead."
Oh my God.
That was. I had one intern that also, it was like very shortly after my shitty dad died, and like we were both like making dead dad jokes to the point because they had like a similar-ish situation, although they like their dad, and that would be kind of like the tenor of a lot of our jokes is we would make dead dad jokes, but they would be often be like, "At least you liked yours," ha 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 ha. And like we had someone pull us aside and be like, "You guys need to stop."
Or at least do it somewhere where other people, yeah.
Like, let us cope how we're coping.
Yeah, damn.
Mello said he went to a 9-film marathon of Star Wars last year. That's both cool and like a lot. How do they do breaks with that? Like, is
They
it just
don't.
like they just
Buckle up, because you're
Yeah.
not going to pee for 9 hours.
I mean, that sounds like
Sorry,
seeing,
not 9 hours, like 18 hours.
seeing 9 movies in the theater sounds amazing to me. That is like Selena's hell.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll be at the movie theater and Jeff will be like, "Do you want to see 2 movies in a row?" And I'm like, you do, and like that makes me want to give this experience to you. But if you're asking me, do I want this? Like, honestly, no, I can't.
At a relationship level, me saying like, "Do you want to see a second movie at the theater?" is the
Like, you need
equivalent for both ends of like the "Do you want to have a threesome" conversation. Where I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, can we do this? Can we do this? And you're like,
you're
this will ruin our relationship. You
but
don't
you
understand.
seem very excited, and I feel bad saying no. So no, but like we went and did Barbenheimer last year,
Yeah.
and that was fun because we took a break in the middle and like went out and got some Denny's or no IHOP. We got some IHOP. We went shopping.
Yeah.
We
There's
did other such things. It's like if there's like an hour break in between, I could do like a movie marathon. I just can't do the like, okay, credits are rolling, go get more popcorn, and then sit back down. And
oh, that's amazing.
you're gonna have to like, someone's gonna have to prescribe me more Adderall for that because like I can't sit still that long.
No, it's great.
Like, no.
That's
I'm sure it's great for someone who can lock into things, but we've been binging Twin Peaks and it's starting to like, I'm starting to be like, I gotta move. Like, I gotta
yeah,
move
it was
around.
funny last night where you're like, oh, we could finish this all tonight. I'm like, could we? And it took us like an hour to start the first episode.
Yeah, and then you got a phone call, and then I was secretly just like, cool, I can like do something else for like 45 minutes because I need a second. I can't do this. Sitting on the couch has never been so stressful.
Shiki says, just say no. LMAO. Yeah,
I'm just...
For the record, I've never forced her
No,
to go.
but,
I
like,
think
I
Barbenheimer was the only time.
I also know that like that would be something that would be really fun for you, and I always want to be like... It's not something that would genuinely, I think, like ruin our relationship or something. It would just be really difficult for me. But like, I think if we're in the right setting, like if you gave me like an hour in between the movies, I think that would be fine. I think I could do more than 2 movies. You just need to give me an hour in between.
Yeah.
And also Adderall and probably weed. And
again, it's like the threesome conversation. It's like, maybe if I'm drunk enough,
I'm not gonna drink.
and I get to pick the person.
Again, it's hard for me to stay locked into something that long.
It's tough too because like I love going to see movies in the movie theater to the point that it's like I could even see bad movies in the movie theater and have a great time. And it's like I've always been surrounded with people that if I accidentally take them to a bad movie in a movie theater, they don't want to see a movie again for like 6 months.
I've never seen a bad movie with you in a movie theater.
Yeah, because I've been very careful because I know
Oh.
that if you have like a somewhat subpar experience at the movie theater, which even in good movies you do, if we will go and you're like, this movie isn't even good, like then it's gonna be like an extra thing. Sam says today is another day of Jeff and Cheeky are the same person and me and Lena are the same person. Yeah, I like movies. But yeah.
And I like being able to get up out of my seat and move around, and people don't like that at movie theaters.
They don't. That's part of why movie theaters are great. That's my favorite thing is like when someone's like, oh, but movie theaters, you can't pause. And I'm like, I know!
This is great.
Do you know how frustrating it's like, oh, I got to get to this. I got to go do this. I got to do this. And I'll just be like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I have such a hard time because I'll sit there and I've started holding my pee for like hours because I'm like, Jeff doesn't like it when we pause the show. And then finally I'll be like ready to piss myself. And I'll be like, I really got to go to the bathroom. And it's not like you've ever been mean to me about it or anything.
No.
You've just been like, there's this thing and it really bothers me when people like get up. And so I internalize that and I'm like, I don't want to bother him. You were telling me this story about your mom once where your mom would be like start a show or a movie and then be like, 1 second, I gotta do this. And it's I fucking
time.
do that all
Yes.
the time. And so I've been so cognizant of just like, I like literally, this is a very stressful existence. I just realized I plot. I like structure like time segments out in my head. I'll be like, okay, we're probably going to start watching Twin Peaks an hour after dinner. So if I finish my dinner in 25 minutes, I have
For the record, I'm not asking you to do any of this.
I know it just happens.
Okay.
I have 35 minutes to be able to prepare to sit down and watch Twin Peaks to where I don't get up right before we're about to start Twin Peaks. Cuz I know that makes you stressed out. And the kids are like, why is she running around the house like that? And you're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, until this conversation, I had no clue.
No, I just want to be able to like. I get it too, the structure of it, where you don't want to be like, all right, let's start this, and then be like, actually, just a second, I gotta get. It's always who I've been though as a person. It's like I'm never. The first time you ask me, am I ready? The answer is usually no. I need to do like 3 different things.
That's often the show too, where I'm like, "Are you ready?" And you're like, "No." I'm like, "How are you not?"
Yeah, no, it's accurate. Listen, man, I can't. I don't know. I don't know how to change that part of me. I'm sorry.
She said, "What did I do this time?" I literally just said I could do a 9-movie marathon. Sam said, my brain just cuts off with movies and binge shows most times, but I can binge like 9-hour-long videos on a random game lore. Yeah, I love long YouTube essays on things, and I understand other people like don't have appetites for that. But it's interesting when people do and then can't. There's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, I will sit in for all the YouTube videos," but like if you put a movie in front of me, I lose my mind. Which is interesting. Or I'll meet people that are like, "No, I could never commit to a movie because it's like 90 minutes at the shortest, or it's like 2 hours, and that stresses me out." But then they'll sit there and they'll watch TV show after TV show after TV show, and it's like, that's so much longer.
There's like less of a commitment because I don't feel like I can get up during a movie. I feel like if I have like a 30-minute episode, I at least know it's going to end in 30 minutes.
Short term, there's less of a commitment, but long term, there's more of a commitment with the TV show because it's like you have like all of the TV show.
Yeah.
And then they turned like movies into TV shows lately of like, well, you have to watch all of these. And it's like, no, you idiots. That was what was amazing about about movies before, is you could sit and watch a movie and be like, there's the movie, and then like walk away with your life and never have to go back to that world and like.
Maybe I want to go back to that world. Maybe I find it comforting. Maybe that's why I've been having such a good time with Twin Peaks lately.
I mean, that's
just been
also
in it
from
and in the lore and
the need to escape this one currently.
Yes, accurate.
Sam said, I just meant my inability to do movies most times. That being said, we just watched Suzume, and it was the same studio, so I got cheeky to watch Your Name too. Both of those are incredible.
Are so good. I love those movies.
I will probably never own the Your Name steelbook because it's wildly expensive. We own the Suzume one, though.
Yes.
Shiki says, my ex and his mom would talk so much during movies. They would pause it so often that a 2-hour movie takes 3 to 4 hours. I told them I couldn't watch movies with them ever again. Sam said, that's basically my movie attention budget for the next 6 months was those 2 movies. Shiki said, no, it's my turn to show you 2 movies. We were doing for a long stretch there the die roll thing. I think that was super helpful. And
it was super helpful for 2 of the 4 people in this house. 2 other people, like, just are structured in a way that, like, myself and our youngest kid, where it was like, it was fine for the first like 3 weeks, and then it would be like someone else would win the die roll, and that was fine. Like we could take that blow, but then the movie choices would just be like I remember our youngest just being like, "We are not watching that." And we were like, "But we have to. Your dad won the die roll." And the first time you won, it was so funny because both kids were just like, Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really tired all of a sudden. Like, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to watch this. It's
But it like turned into a funny thing where like me and the kid who was like me were coming with like we have a list. We have a list for when we win the die roll next of like
and then
movies.
me and our youngest would get the die roll, and then we'd sit there and practically throw up over the decision of what movie
It
to
was
watch.
so funny because you guys would be so mad when you didn't win, but then when you did
I'd be
win,
so stressed out. It is insane to me sometimes how I just like landed in this family where like somehow our youngest child is like a copy of me, and I don't know how it happened.
it's because my ex-wife is very similar to you,
Okay. You just have a type apparently.
apparently.
But no, like so funny. We have very frequent moments in this house where we're like, when did you like secretly birth this child, and how is
Yeah.
she so much like you?
Well, it's like I famously I get along with my ex-wife. It's just we got married when I was 19 and she was about to be 21. It's like we got married stupid young, and
Yeah.
like that's not it's not a good plan. And it makes it really hard to like we get along still. We sat with her at a basketball game, and we're never going to be those people that are like, bro, fucking ex-wife.
I think if you didn't get along with your ex-wife, I wouldn't be comfortable with you, if that makes any sense. Like granted, there's like certain situations where like I could understand not getting along with someone that is your ex, like my ex.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, whenever anybody is just like super trash talk their ex, like, and it's not like it's just like they don't, I don't know, it's really weird. It's like, especially when there's kids involved, because it's like those kids listen, and like
Yeah.
they can tell how you treat your ex partner, and like that's how they're like what am I the word I'm looking for? That's how they're like learning how to base their own opinions off of
Yeah.
what a relationship looks like. And like if you break up with somebody and it's not like
Well,
it's not
especially
like amicable, but it's not like one person was abusive, it just didn't work out and like it sucks, but like it is what it is. Like I know people that if they break up with somebody and it's even on good terms, they're always looking to fight with that person.
Yeah.
Because like it's like sometimes it just doesn't work.
Well, and
And
it's
that's
like
okay too.
having the only relationships that are defined as a good and successful relationship end in death is kind of a crappy system. Like this is one of the best ones. How do you know it ended in death? Like that's weird. That's maybe not how we should structure this.
Yeah.
And it's like some relationships like are just, no relationship is more important than the two people inside of it.
Also, people
and
are very afraid to start over, I think.
yeah,
The idea of
it's
like
scary.
sunk cost fallacy or whatever. That was the big thing besides, everything else that kept me in my last relationship.
Dylan says, yes, Jeff. I see we share the same preference for women. Neurotic. I think it's just, it's why I'm such good friends with Sam, though, too. I think we just, energies match in ways that
Yeah, my
click.
neurotic energy matches your
Absurd chillness.
You are so chill, it's scary sometimes. And I'm just like, this little like,
I'm so chill till I'm not, and then that scares people too when they like find those lines and then they're like,
oh, there's like, yeah.
And I'm like, no, this is the one thing I'm not chill with, so please don't step over the. And sometimes I feel like people are just like, but what if that was chill too?
Yeah, what is that like? What do you like? No,
Other Sam said he couldn't with the people talking and pausing the movie constantly. I would walk out the second time they did it.
I get really overwhelmed. This is one of my toxic traits. I get really overwhelmed when the kids do it and I'm locked into a movie because it takes a lot for me to get locked into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when they like pause it and they're like, so what does that mean? And I'm just like, that's a very philosophical question that I don't know how to quite answer for you right now. there was this one night that you were gonna watch Mean Girls, and I was just like not prepared for the. I knew there was gonna be like several questions coming from our youngest child of
Yeah.
like, what does that mean? What does that slang mean? What does that joke mean? And I'm just like, I can't handle
See,
the questions.
I would just always rather they hear and learn that stuff in this environment than like on a bus ride.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get that aspect of it. I was just saying that particular night, I was just like, I can't answer those questions right now because my brain is so like
Yeah.
over.
I found early on. I actually watched a lot of trashy reality TV with the oldest because it was actually a pretty good way of being like.
That was one of my first experiences hanging out with you, and the oldest was watching a trashy reality TV show, and I was just like, I grew up not being allowed to watch that, so I was just like, why are we watching this with a teenager? I was so thrown.
'Cause
But then I got it after a while.
It's pretty great, honestly. Like people should do it more because like you get to like pause it and go like, that's toxic
Don't
as fuck.
treat people like that.
Yeah.
Like that's silly, and don't let somebody treat you like that. And like that person's acting this way, like don't act like that in that situation, or like don't put up with that. And like
And
yeah, it's a weird
all
learning experience.
it's all scripted and like overblown, but because it's so overblown, it actually makes for like pretty good teaching tools. Like they should teach Too Hot to Handle in like
too
junior high.
too hot. I remember you texting me about the reboot, and you're just like, "There's a reboot or second season or something." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god."
Mela says I've been to a bunch of movie marathons like Toy Story 1 through 4, 3 Planet of the Apes, couple Marvel ones, and when episode 7 came out. Yeah, I really like movie marathons. And then my one friend that could do them with me moved away. I saw so many movies in the theater when Emmanuel lived in town, and that's like one of the biggest things I miss.
Emmanuel, I guess.
No one can. It's that thing that's just like like these are they're the only other sorry to say them now, and it's still I stumble sometimes, but they're one of the few people I met that like be like, hey, can we want to watch a movie right now? And like the answer is always yes, and vice versa. It was just like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, they don't live super far away, so I'm glad at least that like when there are moments like that where you're like, I'm gonna go do this thing and like this movie marathon, like you have somebody that's like, it's not like a 5 hour long like drive or something. Like they live pretty close.
Yeah.
You could still see them.
Yeah, it's just it is a
Timing
drive.
is really hard, and like the fact that we just have basically one day off a week
Yeah.
is also pretty difficult, and most people have like just different schedules. Being an adult is hard.
Well, I mean, because like on top of they're in like their final run of school, film school stuff, they also have like shooting schedules too. So it's like, I would probably get to see them more if I could participate more. And I was in an Emmy winning film,
You
but
were.
sticking a fork into a socket.
Yes.
But if I could participate more in that stuff, but that stuff's a huge time commitment and hard to make work with our schedules too. Shiki said, yeah, the less of a commitment argument is just like girl dinner or boy math. It makes sense and also makes no sense at the same time. Yeah. Shiki says, oh, it's so frustrating. LOL. Weathering with You, Steelbook. We have that one too. Is pretty cheap, but your name is so bad. It is just because that's the way steelbooks work. They're limited runs, so you have to get them when they're new. And then if you're poor at the time, which has been a lot of them lately, it's been like, yep, I'm not going to be able to afford that one. And Shiki said, LMAO, and now we're back to me and Lena being the same and Jeff and Sam being the same. What was that about? And Shiki said to other Sam, I don't know why I didn't respond to you. I hate when people talk during movies. I prefer people pause. If pausing a show or movie 39 times is also horrific, though. Bello said, one of the best reality shows ever just got a third season after like decades, the Joe Schmo Show. That is one of the I've talked about that show several times. It is one of the greatest things ever made. If people don't know, that is one of the reality shows where it's like, um, it lifts the veil of the fourth wall of just like, hey, reality TV is mostly scripted, by the way. Um, but it does the thing of like, hey, everybody on this show is an actor except for this one person thinks they're honestly on a reality show. Um, and it's pretty great. They did, if you like the Joe Schmo show, Mellow, they did a version of it for Freevee a year or two ago, called Jury Duty, I think it was called, which was amazing. Because the guy who played Cyclops and the guy who's in Sonic, James Marsden, he actually played himself. She said Mercari has a set of Your Name and Weathering with You steelbooks for $100. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Mela says I'm like that. I always watch a movie / go to the movies. And the mail says, news alert, U.S. Postal Service restores delivery of incoming parcels from China and Hong Kong. The U.S. Postal Service on Wednesday morning announced it will continue accepting incoming international parcels from China and Hong Kong after announcing Tuesday night that it would suspend them. This is part of, like, what's insane right now is, like, everything is like, this is happening. Actually, no, it's not happening, but maybe it's happening. The whirlwind of news right now is like you can't get your feet underneath you of like what's actually a thing or not. And like so like the tariffs things got officially paused, but right before they got paused, we got to learn, and this is information that like shouldn't that I didn't know and would have no need to know, but like it turns out almost every comic book from all the different companies gets printed at one place, and I now know the name of that company. It starts with a T. I forget what it is though. In Canada,
Temu.
It was not Temu, but they announced that they were going to pay the tariffs for 60 days to give American comic book publishers chance to just keep everything going while all this was figured out. And then
Keep the wheels spinning.
And then like 20 minutes later, they're like, just kidding, all tariffs are paused. And it's like, what is happening? Like it's
So wait, they instead of giving them 60 days, they just paused them indefinitely?
I don't know that anyone knows what's happening right now.
But like we're good. The wheels are turning.
For now.
For now.
Yes.
Okay.
But
this is exhausting.
It's I think by design, yes.
Okay. Well, it's working. You're doing a great job.
Because while all this stuff is happening, you don't notice that the guy who doesn't want to pay so many fines for SpaceX fired all the people that were making him pay a bunch of fines for SpaceX. You don't notice that because all you notice is salutes and all the other things happening, and it doesn't
both
and it doesn't cross your radar till a plane runs into a helicopter and like, how did this happen? And it's like, oh, the guy wanted to save money on his SpaceX fines, and that's why it happened. It's been like 2 weeks, and it feels like it's been 4 years.
Like it's been an eternity. I'm so tired. My body feels heavy, and I could just be sick. That's also, I think, part of it. That's also
happening,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, there's like a fucking influenza outbreak in our town. There's like 150 people that went into the ER and had like influenza and shit, like someone told me.
Yeah.
I don't even want to leave my house anymore. My grandma, she's telling me, she's like, man, I don't get out and do anything anymore. And I'm like, what's that like? I want to do that. I just want to be home, please. Like, I know that I'm usually the one that's like, I should go out and do something. But, like, I want to just be home now. I don't want to leave this place. I don't know if that's... I think I got... For a while there, I was, like, inching very close to, like, being almost agoraphobic to the point that, like... I didn't want to leave the house without you.
I was settling it when we were working from home there for a stretch, and we only had to like work the shop like 2 days a week or something.
Oh,
like,
I was going to start ordering groceries and the whole deal. Like,
yeah,
I was
just
nice. Like, we don't have to leave. And then when your car got a flat tire, I was like, this means we'll be going less places because only one car works now. And like,
yeah.
And secretly I was like, and now I'm just like, I still don't want to go anywhere. I hate going into places by myself now. It used to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It used to, and I really genuinely could not tell you if it's like because of the political climate or like that I feel unsafe or I'm just,
It's probably part. It all adds up
it's
together.
just like, it's definitely, there's been a shift of like when I worked, even when I just worked at the shop and we did this, like I still was going out by myself and being like, ooh, I'm gonna go have a little exploration at like Target or gonna go, like I'd go to a different town even, and now I don't even want to do that. I don't want to like leave our town. I just want to like be here at the house with my cats and
Yeah.
just like not be out there. You were like, you should get a work from home job. And it's like, I would love that, but I don't know how. And I think you need to be qualified in a way that I'm just not qualified because I don't have my GED.
Yeah, but that's a thing that you could do from the
Do you
house.
think I have the ability to study for a GED right now? I can barely focus on this show for like 2 hours.
Sweetheart, you were one of the smartest people I know. I
Thank
think you
you.
could walk in and take that test and be fine.
Oh my God. I don't think so, but I appreciate your faith
I
in me.
Goodness.
I would definitely need like a refresh course.
You are an incredibly intelligent person who, because it was worth it to other people that were shitty to you, they convinced you weren't. But you were one of the smartest people I know. It is you are.
I don't think I'm not smart. I just think it's all buried and it's really hard to get it out.
I don't even. I think you've just been conditioned to doubt yourself, and it sucks because it's like you're incredibly intelligent. There is just the wall there is like you've been conditioned to not think that you are. But you're ridiculously smart.
Well, thanks.
Uh, Sam said terrific.
Terrific.
It said it's almost like the United States thought other countries wouldn't tariff back. There's this like thing coming out, especially like with all the Gaza stuff today, is like you get his moves now. He says something big and scary so that he can get him to agree to something below, and maybe that's the thing. But I think trying to apply any logic to any of this stuff, our brains want to, but I don't think it's all chaos. She said living here is exhausting. I think I would like to drive up the border and seek asylum. I mean, we're right there. I just have kids, and I have an ex-partner that I have kids with, and that makes all that tricky.
We should all just move to like a farm in Canada. We can have 2 separate houses and cows, chickens.
I know, but only one of
Sheep?
the 3 of us makes money.
Who's that?
Not me or you.
We make money.
Kinda.
I can provide in other ways. I know how to cook. And clean.
Sam said, don't let it exhaust you. Just pace yourself taking in the news, a slew of executive orders and wild choices. It's designed to overwhelm you, so you disengage, which is what actually gives them the power. Yeah. Well, it's like I'm forced to like look at the news every day for this show, so it'll at least happen there. Saki said, and he's also in everyone's financial records. Yep, that's also happening. Mela says, you have employees for the comic shop? I used to.
Nope, it's just me now.
Now it's just us. We definitely used to in what is now referred to as the good times. But, yeah, the post-COVID boom in everything, it was like we were able to scale up quite a bit, and we had a number of us that were working there pretty comfortably full-time, and then a number of part-time employees too, and it's been kind of insane that the fold down has been kind of wild. But you know, we're pretty cockroachy, so like we'll continue to hang about and exist. But yeah, we definitely had them and then now do not. I don't know if I ever read this, so I'm going to read it real quick.
Okay.
The Legend of Zelda film thing from Blair Marnell at GameSpot said last month, director and actor Chris Carpenter launched a Kickstarter campaign to bring his vision for a Legend of Zelda film to life. Although the campaign was moderately successful and raised approximately $24,000, It also caught the attention of Nintendo itself. Now the Kickstarter campaign has been suspended and the Zelda fan film is no longer happening. Via Nintendo Life, Dio Traverso, one of the film's producers, confirmed on the Kickstarter page that the project has been shuttered and that no money will be collected from the campaign. He also thanked the film supporters on behalf of Carpenter and the rest of their collaborators. Carpenter planned to step into the role of Link opposite a series of unfortunate events, Avi Lake, who was cast as Princess Zelda. The movie was called Lost in Hyrule, and the story was set after Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask in order to bring that chapter of Link's adventure to a close. Nintendo is famously litigious and even recently went to war after a supermarket in Costa Rica that had the name Super Mario. The Japanese gaming publisher probably would have gone after Lost in Hyrule even if it had been completed, but the Kickstarter campaign and accompanying press likely moved up the timetable for Nintendo's legal response. I think it's the Kickstarter campaign. I think that's where you cross the line. Even though it was probably not a thing you're going to end up profiting on at all, and those were all going to go into production, that's a lot of money changing hands on the name of Zelda. It is not a lot of money in the scheme of things with Nintendo, but that is them drawing a line of like, hey, which is the other thing, like, a lot of the emulator stuff has been like emulators with Patreon that people keep trying to find like lines around to like get money flowing. And that is what will always, I think, invite their ire. Sam said, still huge GGs to the Marios and their supermarket. I fucking love that for them. And yeah, making money off a company's IP is crossing a legal line. Yeah. It's which is where the streaming stuff starts getting weird. And why you have people like Sam going like, I don't know if I want to stream any of these Zelda randomizers, because it's wild, because it's a very tentative, weird relationship, and it's like streaming is definitely one of those things. Sam says it is, and I'm not. It's money is not, at our levels, it's not like a ton of money is changing hands, but money is changing hands. And that tends to be when places like Nintendo start getting a little more noticey of stuff. Now, I think they seem to have, for the most part, kind of accepted streaming as a thing they can't get rid of right now. But that doesn't mean that they don't want to, and don't think that the world would be better if people weren't streaming their games. Because I honestly think they probably believe that to be true, based on their history and who they are. And a lot of Japanese companies are that way, honestly. Sorry, it is an IDK. It is an I am not. Yeah. I think I read it correctly, even though you wrote it incorrectly, but that I have no idea at this point. But yeah,
sounds like you're just saying words and it's really tripping me out. I could just be very tired, but like
IDK my BFF Jill.
What?
IDK my BFF Jill.
I don't know my best friend Jill.
Yeah.
Do you even know anybody named Jill?
No, it was okay.
I do. I know one person on this entire planet.
Ancient times ago, because I'm 917 years old.
No, you're not.
In the old world, we watch television, and it had commercials, and I
was around for commercials, Jeff.
There was a very, very famous commercial at the time that was the way we mock Skibbity Toilet. They were mocking all the tech speak, and it was a
I don't know that commercial. Do you remember the commercials of the gushers that would turn people's heads into giant fruits?
Yes.
Yeah, that shit was scary.
I was honestly convinced as a kid that would happen if I ate a gusher, and so I was terrified of gushers.
Oh, Jeffrey.
because I was a lock key child that just the TV was my entire education. Um, Nick says no one's gonna sue you. Probably, but you never know. Sam says they grant YouTubers and streamers a license to play their games as is. They have not written consent for randomizers / ROM hacks / fan games. Yeah. So I would try to respect that so as to not get sued. And then Cheeky said, "Oh, Lena, probably because she gets the IDK by BFF Jill reference."
Yeah, I don't.
It's just fun. That commercial makes me laugh because
Do you
it's.
remember the Jitterbug? Or wait, no, maybe that Jitterbug commercials. Maybe it was just like T-Mobile. It was just like this lady or these. Oh, Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
Was it Flappy Bird?
Flappy Bird was the game that.
Angry Birds.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, there was like these old ladies playing it on their phones, and they were like saying things.
All right.
Like slang, like.
Let me try to make this somewhat palatable. This is the commercial. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is like back when like commercials used to be like something everybody saw 100 times, so like it would just become.
Your cell phone bill is what's up. All this texting.
OMG, INBD.
It is a big deal. Who are you texting 50 times a day?
IDK, my BFF Jill.
Tell your BFF Jill that I'm taking away your phone.
TISNF.
Me paying this bill, that's what's the S stand F.
Now too much texting is NBD. Singular brings you unlimited texting. Just
And it's so funny.
Will you look up the commercial, the commercial for the ice cream? It's like cake pans that have a hole in the middle so that you can put ice cream in it. Will you please look that up?
Can you give me something that is more distinct to Google
No!
with it? And then
Figure
yes.
it out. I have to figure things out every day of my life. It's like a cake pan. It's like one of those like, hey, call this number and we will send you it. We will send you the cake pan with the ice cream middle. Okay, I'm just gonna Google cake pan with ice cream middle. Cake.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyways, the
Hold on, don't leave the.
this one.
Yes, Betty Crocker, Bacon Phil.
Say
Okay.
goodbye to the
Dude,
litter
this
box and hello
is
to
my
Litter Box,
childhood.
the solution to
Not
the litter
this.
box
This is a
problem.
litter box
No, not
commercial
this
because
litter box commercial.
Google knows we have
I
cats.
can't fucking afford that, but I want one so bad.
Okay.
Here's some inside information from Betty Crocker. It's the most exciting thing you can do with the inside of a cake.
Uh-huh.
Introducing the Betty Crocker Bacon
Whole
Fill,
women
a
come out of
delightful
cakes,
new
at
pan
least
that
in
lets you
movies.
prepare a cake with all kinds of delicious fillings. Imagine the look on your child's face when you cut into the cake and there's his favorite flavor of ice cream or her favorite gelatin.
I
Who
wanted
wouldn't
this
enjoy
so
a cake filled
bad
with
as a
delicious
kid.
fresh
This is also
fruit?
my nightmare
I
because
would
it's
not.
like
I would not shut up about it,
Just
and I
pour your
kept
favorite Betty
begging
Crocker
and
cake
begging,
mix
and they were
into the
like,
main bacon fill pan
I don't
and
think
lock
it's
on
gonna
the
work the
special
way
inner
that
chamber.
it's
Now
working on the
pour more
TV,
cake mix
Selena.
into this
And
base
I'm like,
pan
no,
and
it
let
is.
both
Also,
bake. When they're
it's
done,
just my
remove the
nightmare
insert,
because it's
add
like
your filling
cake
to the
is
center of
good.
gravity, and
Do you know
cover
what's
it
not
with
good?
the
All that
best
shit they're
no
putting
time.
in with. Oh, I don't like frosting.
Making an exciting cake with my Betty Crocker bacon fill is so easy.
It's so
Everything's
easy.
non-stick, so there's no messy cleanup.
These are the kind of desserts you'll find in the finest restaurants.
Like I don't know, understand why you'd ruin cake that way. That
I
looks
love
so
cakes.
gross.
I love ice cream with cake. Yeah, Shiki says you could fill it with fruit.
Now make all your cakes extra special. Make them Betty Crocker bacon fill cakes. You'll get
my
the
God.
bacon fill
Take
pan,
me
the
back,
inner chamber, and the
please.
base pan.
I wanna go
Complete with
back.
instructions and Betty Crocker recipes.
Like Jack
Take
and
me
Lost.
back.
Guaranteed to delight you.
This was such a simple time.
Nick says fill it with mixed vegetable and pork. Mello says don't like pie. No, pie is amazing. That's my problem. Is like pie is great. Cake is good, although frosting is rough. It has to be an aspic though. Okay. I don't know what
Do they
that
have
is.
any other commercials that we can watch real quick that are from the early 2000s? Because like,
There's a whole 20-minute video here of late 90s to
I
2000s
don't know that we
nostalgic
need
commercials.
to watch 20 minutes of it, but
But the IDK my BFF Jill cracks me up because it's just skibbity toilet, like ha ha these kids humor. Late 90s to late 2000s nostalgic commercials. I don't think we're.
I don't know that one. Oh, that's their intro.
logo. Oh my gosh, it's the first one on here.
See, they know.
I'm gonna try to skip past the Betty Crocker because we've already.
It's okay. I would watch it again if I was by myself.
I do this screen. I remember so intimately though.
Shiki wants you to find the links. Look at the link that Shiki sent you.
Okay. Zoo Pals. Oh my god, this just unlocks some weird core memory.
No. I wanted Zoo Pals too as a kid. But my grandma was like, that's pointless.
I looked the wrong place for the link. Find my link.
This is actually a really annoying song.
You don't have intimate remembrance.
Are great, but
So-
kids can lose 2.5 months worth of what they learned in school.
It is pointless. It's a plate with a print on it. Yeah, but that song was just like in my brain, like I knew it.
And it's a joyous time. Oh, it's in the chat.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay.
Sprint honors Lizzie and Kim's call on our new network.
Ryan is a total.
I forgot about this.
Harvey, his amazeballs. He's like the hottest hottie that ever hottied. He's like
I remember
a hottie
this.
times infinity plus another infinity, and his smile is totes adorbs.
Totes my goats. It's cray adorbs.
Totes my goats.
In honor of
Is
his
this
woman,
like
Jim
the
Santa
people at the
$100
museums and like the
remaining
older
from
people at the
Sprint.
museums and like the other shops?
Oh
like,
yeah,
doing,
it's the
doing
exact
the TikToks.
it's the
of,
exact
like,
same thing. Yeah. Snoopy says everything was 1995 plus shipping and handling, no COD. Yes, that was every single.
Lasting skills, habits, and attitudes for
Totes
lifelong
my
success.
goats.
3 hours a week over 12 weeks.
I forgot about Sylvan Learning Center, but I also don't care about Sylvan Learning Center. Sorry.
Hunter, it's okay. It's okay. Fast forward it. There's slime.
Yeah.
What's squishy, stretchy, and transforms almost anything?
Oh my god.
Foam is fun you can feel. Roll it,
This was definitely on the list of like.
Look, now you can turn anything into
I
a
want
fabulous
that. That'll
ball
change my
creation.
life, and then I never got it. I'm
Me
sure it would have
too.
been
Wait,
terrible.
How, is it?
T-Rex. Turn
How
this
are we having the
ordinary
same
toy car
memories?
Because they ran the same commercial for like 30. They paid for one, and then they just like ran it nonstop for 30 straight years.
anything. And when you're done, squish it back and start all over, or let it
Yeah,
harden
and all
and
the
keep
little
it forever.
pieces from
Look,
your house are
crazy
gonna be
messy and
stuck
hard
to it.
start, but
Yeah.
foam
The little
turns
dirt
water into a
balls
work
and
of
cat
art.
hair.
Check it out.
I love
Tiny
the
little
acting of like
magically
the
stick together and form to any
the
shape
like
you want. Now
the
craft
people you
fancy
can't
foam
handle
wear.
the regular blinds, like the acting that a lot of these people were asked to do with this stuff is
Mix and
amazing.
match colors for any design you can imagine. Create a stylish
Nick says,
jewelry
yes,
or
the
a
bacteria
portrait
farm.
face.
Sam says Silver Learning Center seems like the kind of scammy place that would run a million YouTuber sponsorships if they were still in business today. Yes. Snoopy says my kid has
Floam
Floam.
your bike. Floam your bike, Jeff.
Is it as cool as it looked? Shiki said, even though supplies are limited, get this deal before it runs out, and it was the same thing for 17 years. I don't remember
That's
this
the
one.
same person's voice.
It is the same voice. Yeah.
Holy shit, look at that cupcake.
Will light up when you make a king-size cupcake house. Grab your camera to remember those giant cupcakes your family makes together. It's so easy. Just fill with any cake mix, bake and decorate.
Just fill with any cake mix. It's great.
Cupcake looks amazing. Big Top's quick
This is I bet you like Temu put this kind of shit just completely out of it. Like it was just like selling cheap plastic shit over and over again to like the people would order like by phone. Like that's Temu's got that whole market now. Was that just like a giant scoop of peanut butter?
Heck yeah, it was. Can you fast forward it?
Yeah, what?
Just to the next thing.
I see a polar bear. Wait.
This is gonna make me sad.
Oh shit!
Your child can visit steamy jungles, grassy plains, and the dark depths
You
of the
did-
oceans.
core
I
memory
remember
and
this one.
Yeah?
About the magnificent animals that live there, all through the captivating, colorful pages of Zoo Books.
Zoo Books.
I remember Zoo Books, and they had them at my doctor's office, and my grandma was like, no, you can't take those with you because it's the doctor's office's Zoo Books, and I wanted them so bad.
They look cool. I like the monkey just hanging out with the kids. Sam says I want Holt to do a voiceover like this for some kind of bit. We should do that. Shiki said they hold him hostage until he narrated all the infomercials. It is like the same guy's voice over and over. Nick says I think IKEA probably beat them to it first. Yeah, probably. Nick says, okay, wait though, Dork Duck, you don't know what aspic is? Just do a quick search for Russian aspic. Some really special food. I'm scared to.
I need one more commercial, and then you can do that.
Okay.
Oh no!
Not tonight, sweetie. You've had chef every night this week.
But I love Chef.
But I love
This
chefs
commercial used to make me cry.
because she's not allowed to get the.
It follows her home. Now I'm crying.
Why does it make you
I
cry?
don't know.
I love how the commercial frames like the Bob is a piece of shit for just being like, we should maybe not eat the super processed like, thing over and over and over again.
I think it's because it made a can of ravioli sentient, and that's my like worst fear.
That soup is sentient is your worst fear.
Anything, any inanimate object is sentient, and if I put it back in the grocery store, it feels sadness.
You just stole that. You stole that with extra.
No, he came home. That's his home.
Could you imagine one of our kids? We were like, "Hey, you stole it," and we're like, "No, it followed me home."
100% our youngest would do that with a can of ravioli.
This is before the education boom drop. Like, hey, by the way, you still can't get a job afterwards. We don't know. We're not telling you that part yet.
I don't remember this commercial.
Education connection.
Yeah, I don't remember this.
This is I thought for a long time this was going to be my job, was writing jingles. Not realizing that like first jingles would go out of style and then AI would completely replace. So I'm glad that wasn't the
You
career.
fast forward this. It's stressing me out.
I think it's almost done.
Okay.
I think / hope. Oh, you want to be here for the next one,
I think I know what this
and
is.
then we should probably yeah.
I fucking love pillow pets.
After Pillow Pets, we have to go open a
You
comic
know
book
what?
store.
You want to know something fucked up?
What?
I never got a pillow pet, but you know who got one? My sister.
Oh, my kids each got one the year that they were like the hot Christmas toy.
I wanted the strawberry cow one as an adult, but when I was younger, I think I wanted the frog, perhaps. Hi, Pancake. Oh, that's Waffles. Hi, Waffles.
Sam says, this commercial was cringe when it came out. It's still cringe. The education one.
Oh, I wanted the frog.
Stevie says, it comes to get love, and that little girl murdered it. Yeah, the can of soup. I didn't think about that. It's like, here, I'm here to be chosen by you. What does that mean? Ah!
No, that is what it means. It knows it's going to be eaten. That's their whole life. It's what it wants.
Shiki says, I have a Chewbacca pillow pet. And there are 3 vultures in my yard. Why are there vultures still? At least it's not 9 like it was yesterday, but this is still concerning. Next,
Yeah, I will never get over that betrayal of my little sister getting a pillow pet, but me not getting a pillow pet.
I'm so sorry.
I was too old by the time she got one to really care, but secretly, like, the inner child in me was just
You're like pillow pets.
why didn't I get one? Like, you guys said I couldn't get one because you didn't want to order it online or over the phone.
See, I'm gonna run them off. I don't know, but the vultures are just creepy and weird. I have a thing.
mean.
I have a thing with birds, though. It's like
Yeah,
I
you don't
struggle
like
with birds.
I think all birds are beautiful. I don't really like want vultures near me, but I can respect them if they're like far away.
I could do this all day. Nix, please post the weird aspic food nonsense in our Discord if you're wanting to.
Or we can also Google it when we get to the shop.
Yeah, we got to open a
just have
comic
to
store.
Go open the comic store, but I really could just sit here and watch these commercials.
Watch
all
old
day.
commercials. We
Yeah.
should maybe think about doing this as a
segment?
Yeah,
Yes.
because this is a lot of fun.
That is actually great.
I see something with a dinosaur. I want to watch that.
Okay.
Oh, it's a Scooby-Doo board game. There was a dinosaur.
Good job, Scooby. Let's see who the ghost really is. The Scooby-Doo.
No one ever played this game ever. They got it and was like, oh, look at these.
Robo-Raptor.
I want a Robo-Raptor.
Make him interactive, responsive, or unpredictable. Touch sensors in his head and tail make him powerfully interactive. Lock onto sound. Vision sensors.
None of this stuff worked ever. That they'd be like, it does this and this, and it would be like,
would just sit there and occasionally twitch.
yeah.
Friend or predator, you decide. Roboraptor, a fusion of technology and personality.
That's cool. Yeah, we need to consider an
Yes.
old commercial
100%.
segment.
We need to go open a store though.
We do.
I don't want to, but it must be done.
Nick says, I have these old commercials on my BRB and starting soon screen. I have like 30 of them, and it just randomly plays. That's pretty amazing. Shiki said a force vulture showed up, and Sam scared them off. That's crazy. We got to go bug somebody. We have raid messages. They look like this. Why is it not typing? They look like this if you're not subscribed, or this if you are. We're gonna go bug Cap, but we're not gonna be able to hang out there super long because we have a store that opens in 10 minutes and we're not geographically there. But we fucking love Cap, so we're gonna head over there. Please be honest, be kind, be useful, live a good fucking life. I appreciate the fuck out of all of you, and we'll see you tonight if on Facebook if you follow us there for a live comic book sale. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow for more Dork Tech Daily.
Goodbye. I love you. Have a great Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever today is.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday.